It's fairy tales that we have all known and loved and grown up with, as interpreted by Stephen Sondheim and James Lapine and musicalized. And I think there were many reasons to celebrate and be awed by that musical. I remember when we all first saw it on Broadway. But to see all of those, so many of those famous fairy tale characters intertwining in one piece, and then each of them has a song and a psychological journey to make, and somehow they're all thrown together, and their fate is intertwined. Nobody had ever seen anything like it. It was truly imaginative, but it was curiously like, why hasn't somebody done this before? This is so worth examining. Like, what a modern take on the Grimm's fairy tales. Can't imagine a better director than Rob Marshall to visually conceive of this, and then you have Steve Sondheim's magnificent music and lyrics, and then you have some great movie actors bringing all this psychological depth to these roles, which is really called for. The musical goes very deep into people's psychic lives and traumas, and so I think that it's going to be an amazing project. Yeah, I would say Steve Sondheim is the single most brilliant person with whom I've ever worked in the theater and show business. To actually be in a movie musical of his work is just a once in a lifetime extraordinary thing. He's just incredibly intelligent man, incredibly literate man, wide frames of reference, and all of his musicals are about deep human journeys, people learning. It's so far beyond entertainment, and yet his musicals are so vastly entertaining because they're not just about feeling, although the depth of feeling is very, very deep. But when you experience his work, you really have to listen to his music and his lyrics. There's a complexity that makes you just sit up. Wow, what is he saying to us? I mean, we throw around the word genius, but I do believe he's a genius of the theater and the musical theater, and has made an incredible contribution. And I think it's high time that, I wish more of his musicals were done, but I can't imagine a more wonderful piece, because this is so universal, this is so imaginative and kind of fabulous in the fable sense, and I think Rob will be a wonderful visual interpreter of this musical, so it lends itself to cinema, this particular one. She is so beautifully cast, Anna. She has the most perfectly exquisite voice for the role. It's not an easy role vocally, and she's able to hit all those beautiful high pitches just effortlessly, and she has this fragility and sincerity. She's a wonderful actress. I think everything's in place for her to be just the perfect Cinderella. The most astonishing recreation of a forest, and it's indoors. It's a forest that was created in this gigantic sound stage, and the light is streaming in, and the light is filtered, and it's all very mysterious, and we were in a horse-drawn carriage, and the baker tries to mount the carriage to get a bit of hair from one of my daughters. He needs this silky hair, and I can only tell you that having all those elements in place, especially the set and the lighting and all, just helps immeasurably to just get you into that world. It really is a fairy tale world. And we shot in Dover Castle Cinderella's arrival, once she marries the prince, and there's this 12th century castle, and we're overlooking the English Channel, and it's all, yes, it helps. It all helps to just get into it. When you're first rehearsing it in a room, it's like, how's this going to work? But when you put all the elements in place, and I'm sure none of us will really fully appreciate how imaginative this is until the movie's made and it's edited and you have the sound and everything's coming together. I have such a profound affection for Rob. I worked with him on a workshop years and years ago. We fell in love doing a Michael John LaChiusa piece. And then it was like, well, let's just do every project together. And Rob engenders that in actors. They fall in love with him. He's got the most exquisite directing style of anyone I've worked with. He's so graceful, and he's specific. He's impeccable in his eye in terms of what he wants from his actors. No matter how stressed out, how exhausted, how much noise there is on the set, if Rob approaches you for what you're supposed to do, it will be with this lovely smile and this soft-spoken voice, and you feel it's just you and he together. And John, they're just dancing partners, he and John. If Rob can't be there, John will come in, and John will, give you the direction or say this is what's needed, and it's like this dance between them. But I'm so lucky to be in this project.